Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for being on the call today after a couple-week hiatus. So we got lots of new fun things to roll out this year. So we're going to do a few of them today. The first thing we want to remind you is please watch those or pay attention to those 5Q tape breakdowns. When you cover a topic that your client knows nothing about, you'll have to explain how it works. But after you explain, you follow up with a question. So sometimes we cover things that people don't know anything about, so we can't just ask open-ended questions. If you listen to that 5Q tape breakdown, it explains how we can do that. So make sure you go back and watch that. How to start the new year. How to start the new year. Well, I always, and a lot of people do, what happens to gyms on January 1st? What happens to gyms on January 1st? Yeah, they fill up, exactly, Nick. So everybody's on a self-improvement kick. So what I would like to see, and what I do, is I just have three things. There's a magic thing about three things that I'm going to improve each year. So it'd be great if some of you would actually grab onto this, and let's see if we can't improve ourselves in our business this year. See, now if you apply yourself every day to just becoming a little bit better, apply yourself every day to just become a little bit better. John Wooden, one of my favorite coaches. I coach more like Billy, or is it what's the heck's the Knight? Who's Knight? Bobby Knight. I coach more like Bobby Knight, but John Wooden is an awesome coach from UCLA. So he said, apply yourself every day to becoming just a little bit better. It's surprising what can happen when you do that. Now we've all probably heard this. And it ends up it's not really true. It's not actually what he said. But Malcolm Gladwell said that how long does it take to master something in his books? And then everybody glommed onto it, and everybody talks about this now. How long does it take to master something? Yeah, he said 10,000 hours. And that may be the case for some things, but it's not really the case for what we're doing. And I've talked about over and over and over, get 2% better, get 2% better, get 2% better. What if we only didn't even bother getting 2% better? What if we got just 1% better every working day? Is that asking a lot to get 1% better at what you do? Is that a huge a huge goal to shoot for, or reasonable? So I've got one reasonable. Good, thanks. So 1% better every working day, just every work, 240 days. So maybe you had 2 or 3 weeks off a year, not working on the weekends, but just getting better Monday through Friday, 1% a day. By the end of the year, you'd be 10 times better. You'd be 10 times better in 240 working days. So how do you think, what are some ways you could get 1% better every day? I got 3 suggestions, but what are 3 things you could do to get 1% better every day? Practice what, though? Practice is good, Luann, but practice what? Okay, Kevin's got one, 15-minute drill. Yep, absolutely, 15-minute drill. What's another thing you could do? Yeah, the 15-minute drill, you're working on GOTS during the 15-minute drill. That's absolutely right. Ronan's got the second one, which is record your meetings and just record them or review them. Got to review them. So 15-minute drill, tape review, email to you every other week. So every other week I send you with the tape review, like we talked about today, how to get a little bit better. But you should be doing your own 15-minute drill every single day. Record your meetings and review them. And then what's the last thing you could do? Always be working at getting even better than you already are at just one of the scripts. So like I've been telling you for over a year now, probably 18 months now, more guys know the 21-point checklist scripts than have known it in the last 18 years. But have we all got them mastered so we can't get them wrong? We have them so we can get them right, but have we mastered them until we can't get them wrong? No. So what we want to do is when we're recording and reviewing the meetings, we're listening to ways I could do better at gotsing them, but we're also finding out, hey, here's one of the scripts, one of the 21 scripts that I'd love to just nail backwards and forwards till I can't get it wrong. So work on all the scripts now, or just find one and zero in on that one and get that one down so that you can't get it wrong. So if you were doing these 3 things, do you think you'd be getting 1% better a week? So this one I want everybody to answer. If you were doing these 3 things, do you think you'd be getting 1% better a week? So I got 3, 5, Why did you say nope, David? So everybody's saying yes. He's saying David's saying because we'd be getting way more than 1% better every day. Now, here's the thing. Why don't people do this? Why don't people do this? Well, most people tell me, but Mike, I'm way too busy. I'm way too busy. And I find a couple of comics that that really encapsulate that. So, hey, no thanks. We're too busy to be looking at these things that are going to make my life a lot easier. See, I'm too busy or I don't have time is a surface level excuse for the truth, which is the truth could be any number of these things. It could be, I don't really want to do that. It's not my priority, or I forgot to do that, or I'm scared to do that, or a blankety blank blank. But really, are any of us really too busy to do those things? If I visited any of your offices, would I find out any of you are too busy to be doing those things? No. And if you are too busy to doing those things, how much money should you be making? If you are too busy to do those things, how much money should you be making? What's a lot? A lot is not, I want specific, millions, 2 million plus. So if you're making 2 million plus, that means you are too busy to do these things. If you're not making that kind of money, then if you are too busy, what are you spending your time on? Things that are making you money or not making you money? Because is reading the Wall Street Journal or the internet, is that making you money? Is answering your emails making you money? No. So, instead of, here's an experiment. Instead of saying, I don't have time to do those things, try saying it's not a priority. You're not going to say, I didn't have time to do the 15-minute drill. You can say, I didn't think the 15-minute drill was a priority. Instead of saying, I don't have time to review the tapes, man, I'm busy. Instead say, I don't think listening to my tapes is a priority. Instead of saying, I don't have time to go back and review the scripts again, say, I don't think reviewing the scripts and mastering the scripts is a priority. So when you say that, how does that feel? When I say, I don't think the 15-minute drill is a priority. When I don't think taping my meetings and review them are a priority. I don't think mastering the scripts so I can't get them wrong are a priority. What does that sound like? At least I'm being honest with myself. But when I say it's not a priority, what am I sentencing myself to for the rest of the year? To make the same thing that I made this year. If I'm making a lot now, it means I'll make a lot. If I'm making a medium amount, it means I'm making a medium amount. If I'm making a low amount, it means I'm making a low amount. But if there's no improvement, guess what's going to magically happen this year? If you're not getting better, guess what's going to magically happen this year? You're going to make the same amount as you did the previous year. Make sense? So make yourself a priority. Make yourself a priority. Fill yourself up so that you can give more to others. I had a gentleman tell me on Friday that he didn't like our system because it was manipulative. Is our system manipulative, guys? Is motivational interviewing manipulative? No, it's probably the least manipulative things you can do. See, a sales pitch, now is a sales pitch manipulative? Yes. You're trying to persuade people to do something. You're trying to sell ice to Eskimos. Motivational interviewing was designed to help people with addictions come to their own conclusions about what they want to do. So what we're doing is the least manipulative thing out there. We're helping people walk through logically what they want to do. Are we trying to tell them what to do? Is our system designed to tell people what to do, or is it for them to discover it for themselves? Yeah, it's for them. So by making yourself a priority, by getting better at your communication skills, you fill yourself up so that you can help more people, more clients. And really, I can't tell you how many times in the last year people said, man, that stuff, it doesn't just work for my business. I've used it at home. I've used it with my kids. I've used it. So guys, this is just making you a better person. All these skills, any of these three skills, are they simply going to make you a better at your business, or is it going to make you a better person? These things. It's going to make you a better person. So if you don't want to do these 3 things, that's fine. Find 3 things that you want to get better at, whatever they may be. But I would tell you what, the reason I call the 15-minute drill the most important 15 daily is because is there anything you can do in your life for 15 minutes that will have as much of an impact as a 15-minute drill? Not that I know of, because it just makes you a better listener. It makes you a better person. It makes you a more likable. Everything that we'd like in life is the 15-minute drill is designed to do. Make sense? So put a system in place to account for your time. Because do these things just magically happen, or do you have to have them? Oh, 1, 1, 2. That's interesting. So do these things just happen, or do you have to have them scheduled? Schedule them. Schedule them. And again, if it's not these things, pick 3 things to get yourself better 1% of a day or a working day. Now, new this year as well is every single week, I'm also going to be giving you a tidbit of research or science that's going to make you a better salesperson or better at communication. Okay? So this week's is 3 tiny changes that can have a huge impact on how your brain works. So the first one is sometimes it can seem as if getting healthy both physically and mentally necessitates big life changes such as working out every day or meditating for 20 minutes every morning. Well, these certainly will do a world of good. You can take baby steps and involve a much smaller commitment of time. Check out what researchers have found regarding tiny habits which have a huge effect on your health and well-being. Again, getting 1% better doesn't take hours and hours and hours a day. Getting 1% better can be as little as 15 minutes on your 15-minute drill. Or look at this, slow breathing. According to a scientific literature reviewed in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience, which scoured 2,461 research abstracts, pulling 15 of the most rigorous studies to analyze. So is this well researched? Yes. The studies provided data arising from EEGs, MRIs, HRVs, SRAs, and cardiorespiratory synchronization. Data from studies show that the slow breathing techniques affect the autonomic and central nervous systems to increase relaxation and alertness and decrease symptoms of anxiety, depression, and anger. Guys, in our business, would we be well served to be more relaxed and alert in our business? Yeah. And would we be more served or better, well served to be less anxious, depressed, and angry? Of course. So if you'd like to try slow breathing but aren't sure how to do it, check out the 4-7-8 method developed by Dr. Andrew Weil. Essentially what you do is you breathe in for a count of 4, you hold that breath for 7 seconds, and then you blow it out for a count to 8. So keep the tip of your tongue at the roof of your mouth, right behind your front teeth. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then let it out for through your mouth through 8 seconds. Do 4 breathing cycles twice a day. Is that a lot, guys? It's about 4 minutes a day, right? Do this. Put it in your calendar until you actually start doing it regularly. Do this. Put it in your calendar to do this on a regular basis. Yeah, less time than drinking coffee. I agree with that, Daniel. Yeah, Ron, he says it's very low effective at lowering your blood pressure. Absolutely, absolutely. So the second thing is sit up straight for improved thinking. So when you're learning or learning the scripts, doing your 15-minute drill, whatever, sit up straight. Researchers in California and Taiwan split groups of 125 students into 2 groups, asked the first to sit erect and the other to slouch. And then they wanted to subtract 7, or starting with 964, subtract 7 and keep going on, another 7, subtract another 7, subtract another 7 for 30 seconds. And then the researchers reversed the groups and asked them to start subtracting from 834 and subtract 7, subtract 7, subtract 7 for 30 seconds. With experience doing this math with good and bad posture, students rated the task more difficult when slouching compared to when sitting up straight. It seems silly. Why would that affect you? But it does affect you. Till says, thank you. I just sat up. And then the third one is, and you've heard me talk about this over and over and over, get enough sleep. What they're talking about here is turning off lights before bed, but there's all sorts of ways that you can sleep better. And so many people wear a badge of honor saying, I get by on 4 hours of sleep. I get by on 5 hours of sleep. Guys, when you say I get by, does that mean that you thrive or you're just getting by? and we want to thrive in life. So they find out if you what is the one of the most important. If you want to lose weight, what is one of the most important things you can do to lose weight? Sleep, right, Nick? Sleep. Get 8 hours of sleep is one of the most important. Jill and David, one of the most important things you can do to lose weight is to sleep, which seems silly. Seems to me to get up an hour early and exercise. They found that rather than getting up an hour early to exercise, you're better off sleeping that extra hour. Now, it's great to exercise, but you shouldn't be cutting your sleep to exercise. You shouldn't be cutting your sleep to watch the Late Show. You shouldn't be cutting your sleep to get up early to look at your email. Get enough sleep. So are you guys okay with me throwing in just every week some piece of research to make you a better communicator, a better, good. Everybody's saying yes. Good. Okay, so today we're going to start out with a tape review, and the tape review is going to be the alpha and the omega, which means the beginning and the end of the 21-point checklist. So let's go ahead and listen to how this advisor starts. So here we go.
Use them up, we'll make more, right? Okay, right? Okay. So here's your analysis. We're going to go from page by page by page, all right? This is for you guys, Stephen Rosalie, you know who you are, okay, all right? Introduction, it says basically this is taken from the information you gave us with also the information you emailed me on a PDF as far as your Boeing account and the variable annuity, okay, all right? And these are the goals that you guys talked about when we first met. Number one, I want to make sure that my money lasts throughout my lifetime. That was a 5 for both of you, all right? I would like to ensure that my assets are protected.
Okay, so what did he miss here? He's right into goals. What did he miss? Yeah, he missed the beginning of the script. What today's meeting is about is to find out where you are now so we can determine, hey, what is it that you like about your current situation? And then what is it that you don't like about your current situation? And do I want to spend any time working on the things that you already like and you're already satisfied with? No. So I want to find out what you don't like, and those are the things that I'm going to work on. So today we're not going to do anything because I didn't prepare anything until I know better what it is that you like and what you don't like, and then I'm going to spend time coming up with ideas to tell you, hey, those things that you like, they're wrong. We should do more. Or I'm going to spend time and say, hey, those things you don't like, let's look at ways that we can do something better with that. Which ways do you think I'm going to spend more time on? So in this, number one, who did all the talking right there, guys? Me. No, I did all the talking right there. I explained to them why. Now, why? Why is this number one so important? Why is it so important? We don't want to skip this. Why is it so? And there's no right or wrong way to do this. There is no right or wrong way to do number one, but you have to let them know that this meeting is about, let's see, setting tone feedback. Nick's got it. Only Nick has it so far. David's got it. Till's got it. Yeah, so some of you are good at giving answers that are right, but it's not the real reason that we're doing this. But the three I mentioned, they got it right. It's to lower their resistance level. Yes, Kevin, you got it. Because here's what I'm saying. Listen, today is not up. We're not going to do anything today. It's about evaluating what you currently have, making sure you understand what you currently have backwards and forwards. It's about leaving here knowing exactly what you have more than you've ever had in your entire life. And then of those things, you're going to tell me what you like, and then you're going to tell me what you don't like. And I didn't prepare anything today because if you like the way things are, I'm not going to waste my time or your time trying to convince you that you shouldn't like them. But if you don't like something, I'll spend time trying to figure out those things and how we can do something better that you would like. So what are we telling them? Are they going to sign any paperwork today? Based on what I just said there, are they going to sign any paperwork today? Am I going to sell them anything today? Is it possible for me to sell them anything today? No, because I told them that I have prepared things or I have nothing prepared. Nothing prepared. So what happens to because when they come in, what do they think we're going to do? When they come in, I don't care how many times you tell them that you're not going to do this, but what do they think you're going to do? Yes, they think you're going to sell them. So the first thing I want to do with this meeting is what? Tell them I'm not going to sell them. In fact, if you want something, I can't even do today because I have nothing prepared. There's nothing that I have prepared to sell you today because I don't even know what you like and don't like. Does that make sense? So how important is this number one? Yeah, it takes down their defense, Fred. Yeah, it's really important. Don't forget this. Don't forget this. It's letting them know nothing's going to happen today because I don't even know what they like and don't like. If they tell me they like everything, guess what I'm going to do? Nothing, because there's nothing to improve. So does that make sense? So it knows they're going to get nothing at the end, and it makes sure they understand that I'm not going to have them, if they're not going to get anything, that means I'm not going to have them sign anything. So please, please, please don't. This is a vital part of the 21-point checklist and starting out this way. It relaxes them. It lets them know they're not going to have to buy anything. And even if they wanted to buy anything, what am I telling them? I don't have anything for you to buy today. So I'm sorry. So does that make sense to you why this is so important? So now let's listen to the as he gets into the goals here. Oh, and is it okay for me to do all the talking there? Yes, it is, in fact. I am doing all the talking here, guys. Why? Here's a way to remember that. Do they know? See, when two people are talking, so I'm the advisor, and Jeff is the client. Does the client know what's going on in my head at the beginning of the meeting? What is Jeff? If you're the client, what's going on? What do you think's going on in my head? If you're the client, Jeff,
I'm thinking you're trying to figure out how to sell me something or how to bring up problems with my portfolio.
Yes. So if Jeff doesn't know what's going on in my head, I have to tell him what's going on in my head. So how is he going to know what's going on in my head? There's only one way he's going to know what's going on in my head, which is what? For me to tell him. For me to tell him. Now, when I'm going through the 21-point checklist, the 21 items in the 21-point checklist, I need Jeff to understand. I need to understand what's going on in Jeff's head. So who has to do all the talking with the 21 issues? They do, right. See, the 21 issues, I need to know what's going on in Jeff's head. But at the beginning here, he needs to knows what's going on in my head. Otherwise, he's going to make a mistake and think I'm here to sell him something. And do we sell them anything at the 21-point checklist? No. But he thinks we're going to, so I have to tell him what's going on. And did I give him a reason why? Is there a reason why I'm not going to sell him anything? Did I give him a reason why, number one, why I'm not going to sell him anything? Yes, what is the reason? I'm not going to waste my time coming up with some sort of great solution for you if it has to do with something you already like. Why would I waste my time or your time trying to convince you that what you like is wrong? That'd be a waste of your time, be a waste of my time. See, I've given them a reason why I'm not going to do it. So I'm lazy. I'm lazy. I'm not going to waste any of my time coming up with solutions till you tell me what you like and you don't like. Once you tell me what you don't like, then I'll invest my time to do that. Once I know what you don't like, then I'll go back to the blackboard and figure out, how can I make that better for them? But I'm not going to waste my time up front with that till you tell me. So do you see how they understand that? Does that make sense to them when I tell them that's why I'm not going to sell them anything today? Yes. So you can't just say, hey, don't worry, I'm not here to sell you anything today. Can I say it that way? If I say it that way, what do they assume? Yeah, that I'm lying and I'm going to try to sell them something. So instead, I explain why, because I'm lazy, I don't have anything to sell them today. So when people understand the reason behind it, then they believe it. They're just not going to believe you, cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye, I'm not going to sell you. So make sure you get this down, okay? And don't skip this. And do you have to do it my way, or can you do it your own way as long as they understand this? This you can do your own way, because this is just you having a conversation with them. Make sense? Cool. So here we go. We're going to listen to the goals.
Introduction says basically this is taken from the information you gave us with also the information you emailed me on a PDF as far as your Boeing account and the variable annuity. Okay, all right. And these are the goals that you guys talked about when we first met. Number one, I want to make sure that my money lasts throughout my lifetime. That was a 5 for both of you, all right. I would like to ensure that my...
Now this meeting was done before we changed the goal questions. So obviously it would be different now, but this was the previous one, the one without as much power. So it would sound even better with the new goal questions that we have, but just so you wonder why he's not talking about some things we talked about in the new goal questions, it's because this was recorded before we made that change. Here we go.
Assets are protected from losses. Okay, you know, that was a 4 and a 5 because you're more aggressive than you are. Okay, so and that's how that broke down. I want to pay less in taxes. That was a big 5 for both of you. That was a double circle. All right. Okay. I would like to protect myself and my family from catastrophic long-term care costs. That was a 4. That was not quite as important for both of you, all right? I would like more income, and I would like to see increases in my investment portfolio. You talked about some of the disappointments you've had with Boeing taking over some of that account and you being a little frustrated with that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So a couple of things you've done very, very well. You have sufficient income to meet your expenses, and that's probably the most important thing, and believe it or not, a significant portion of the folks that come to my office don't have enough income to meet their expenses because they've been living beyond their means for a long time. And when you live beyond your means, it's very difficult to do very much. All right. And you have a very good level of assets for your average age 61. So congratulations. That's hard to do, you know, and you guys have been very good disciplined savers. So congratulations on that. All right. Okay. You're probably in the 85th percentile in terms of the assets you've been able to accumulate, you know, over your working lifetime. So congratulations. You're ahead of most of your peers. Okay. Some things we're going to talk about, areas of concern. We're going to go over a survivor's guide. You got.
Okay, how do you do on goals? You did great on goals. How do you do on things done well? No, he did okay on things done well. What do we want to accomplish with things done well? What do we want to accomplish? Hey, very good, Mark. You got it. Yeah, we want to empower him. He did good on that. He did good. He did well on that. He did empower them, absolutely. But that's not what we wanted. Well, we kind of want to do that, but there's something even more important. Again, they came in thinking we're going to do what? What did they come in thinking we're going to do? Sell them. Now, number one, this was designed to get them to think we're not going to sell them. You think, am I ever satisfied when I'm really trying to overcome a major objection? Am I ever satisfied with doing it just one time? No, I do it over and over and over again. So I've kicked down a lot of that wall, that resistance wall here. I'm going to do it again here with things done well. I'm going to tell them, hey, you've done all the heavy lifting. You've done all the heavy lifting. You came to me and you did not have great income. You did not have great assets. You came to me and you were totally up to your neck in debt. There'd be nothing that I could do. But because you've done all the heavy lifting, because you've done so well on those big things like saving, low debt, living with your means, because you've done those things, anything that I show you is going to be very small and easy to fix. What does that do when I do that? And first of all, did he say anything that I would recommend would be small and easy to fix? Did he say that? No. And why is it so important to say that? Why is it so important for them to understand that any changes they need to make are going to be small and easy to fix? Mark says underwhelming. Yes. Painless, Dale. Yes. Put it at ease, Michael. Yes. So it's going to lower their guard yet again. Does that make sense? So yes, he empowered him. He did 50% of it really well, but he skipped the other 50%. So just because you empower them, is it going to make them still? Hey, do salespeople empower you sometimes? Those are a sharp pair of shoes, man. Hey, you're looking sharp. Hey, you're a really smart guy. Do salespeople? Yes. And does that lower our resistance, or actually sometimes raise the resistance. Yeah. So we want to empower them, but we want to empower them with purpose. The purpose here to empower them is not to make them so much feel good. Hey, that's a good thing. That's a good thing to make them feel good. But the real reason to do that is say, listen, because you've done so well, there's not a lot of changes that need to be made here. And if there were any changes, they'd be super small and easy to fix. How does that now, between number one here, between number one, lowering the resistance, and if I do it, things done well that way, what's happened to the resistance level going forward? So it's gone way down now. So we kind of treat the introduction as a throwaway to get into the good stuff. Is the introduction it as in anything? What is the most? Anytime you start any project, is the beginning important or not important? Beginning, it sets the tone. It's a very, very important. So don't forget these things. So number one and number two are designed to lower their anxiety, because we're not going to do anything today. We're not going to do anything today. That's what I want them to know above anything. We're not going to do anything today. Make sense? Uh-oh. See here. Okay. So now we'll keep listening.
Don't have a will, you don't have a trust, you don't have a power.
Okay, so now he's going to go through the areas of concern, and he's going to do it like a laundry list, which is the exact way you want to do it. Do you want to get into anything, any details when you're going through the areas of concern? Never, because then you're going to be dragged into a conversation. So it should just be a laundry list. So here we go. And he does a good job.
Either durable or medical power of attorney. We're going to talk about filing that electronically, while that might be important to you. We'll talk about a quality of life directive. This is something that goes in conjunction with your medical power of attorney.
Do you notice how he's saying we're going to talk about, going to talk about, going to talk about? Is that a good way to phrase the areas of concern? Yes. Why? Do we want to say you don't have a quality of life directive? If you say you don't have a quality of life directive, what are they going to say? Why would I need one? I don't need one. But if he says we're just going to talk about that, it's a statement of fact. It's not an accusation. When you say you don't have this thing, that's you're pointing at them and saying what? You did something what? Wrong. Do we want to be telling them they did anything wrong at the beginning of this? No. Instead, what you're just, hey, we're going to talk about this and talk about that and talk about that and talk about that. So he's doing that exactly the way he should be doing. He's doing a great job on that.
Identity theft plan. I don't think you guys have identity theft right now.
I spoke too soon.
You have a plan? Okay. That's becoming a bigger and bigger concern. Umbrella liability protection. You look at how your assets are titled and your beneficiaries.
That's good.
Some of the account fees you may or may not be aware that you're paying. Your asset weighting. The tenure of some of your fund managers. Turnover costs. Preferred list. This does not really apply to you guys. You don't have preferred list. You're not with Edwards or A.G. Edwards or Edward Jones, and they're notorious for preferred fund. You know what preferred funds are? You ever heard that term? Okay.
Should we add information like that, dudes? So you're doing a great job, but then don't do that. Anytime we add information like that, it could turn into what? A left turn. An issue, right? We don't want to do that. But otherwise, is he doing a great job just going through this as a laundry list? Yeah. He's doing a great job. We're going to talk about this and this and this and this and this and this. Awesome, awesome, awesome job doing the exact way that he should be doing it. So the things, though, that he needs to improve on is don't skip number one, and make sure you don't forget why you're doing number three. Yes, we'd like to empower them, but most importantly, we want to use number three as another reason to lower their anxiety level by saying, listen, nothing's going to get done today, and you've done all the heavy lifting. You've done such a great job. Anything that I would show you would be small and easy to fix. Those two things have them going into the meeting with a sigh of relief. Nothing. There's going to be no pressure. Am I saying there's going to be no pressure, or am I, through the way I'm explaining things, letting them know there's not going to be any pressure? Because if I say no pressure, that's going to what? Cause pressure. I'm not going to say that, but I'm going to demonstrate, right, Nick? I'm going to demonstrate by the becauses, because of the way I treat the fact that I'm not going to recommend anything today, because I'm not going to do that because I don't want to do any work that you on things that you may already like, because that'd be a waste of your time and my time. I'm going to wait till you tell me what you don't like. Then I'm going to go back to the drawing board. Then I will go back and figure things out, but only then. So it tells them why I'm not going to sell them anything. And then the thing's done well where I say, hey, you've already done the heavy lifting. Anything I would show you would be small and easy. They understand then. Actions speak very loud, Fred. Exactly right. So does that all make sense? But he did a great job on areas of concern using it strictly as, because I see that's one of the mistakes I see is when you go through the areas of concern, you'll actually get too far into each one of those topics, and then that throws your whole meeting off. Can I get some whys, if that makes sense to you? If you get too far into any one of those, it should simply be a laundry list. Super. Okay, so now we're going to zip forward to that's the alpha. That's the beginning. Now let's go to the omega, the end. So I have to find it here. That's good enough. I'm saying those are designed to knock down that wall, okay? Now we're going to go to the end. Okay.
Riskier, because I didn't want them to sell all that Boeing stock. End up being worth a heck of a lot more money than what they invested in. That made me unhappy. You know, because it was kind of like they were selling me this idea that you're just way too risky with your portfolio right now because of your Boeing stock. And I said, I'm not so sure. I said, I've kind of got it balanced. I got, you know, the most risk, the riskiest and the least risky in your program.
Obviously, this guy is protecting the fact that he has a lot of Boeing stock here. So we're just finishing up the meeting because the advisor went through the risk reward here. So he's doing a good job listening and letting the guy vent. So, but that's why we're at the very end of the meeting at the risk reward.
So I said, that kind of balanced itself up. Oh, no, you're wrong. No, you were just lucky that it went that way. You know, so that made me unhappy because, I mean, it was obvious that, you know, a lot of money was lost. Not lost, I mean, failed to be gained.
Failed to be gained, sure.
That was right there in front of them. And
so he did a good job of gotzing there, right? Did he do a good job of gotzing there and arguing with the guy, or getting on his side? Got on his side there.
They put it off in stuff that just, you know, to me just trickled in money instead of making a lot of money right away. You know, so that's the only one I'm unhappy about.
Well, I'm a little concerned about those fees.
Yeah.
Particularly in your variable account, because you're.
So is that music to your ears when you hear somebody say that? Yeah.
I'm concerned about that.
You're paying for something that
you're not getting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that I don't like.
Well, yeah. I said, is this proposal? I mean, what you're proposing is.
Oh, I'm not proposing. You know, that's why I asked you the question. You know, if.
Oh, what just happened there, guys? First of all, did the fact that he didn't go over that nothing was going to happen today, that there's going to be nothing to sell, there's going to be nothing, did that come back to bite him at the end here? Yeah. Second of all, when he said propose, I'm going to go back and stuck on it. Go back and listen to this again here. The guy says, "What are you proposing?" And listen to how the advisor handles that. So here we go.
That's why I asked you the question. You know, if the reason I asked, that's why I asked you the question. You know, if.
Well, yeah. I said, is this proposal? I mean, what you're proposing is.
Oh, I'm not proposing. You know.
That's what you just do right there. Yes, talked over and corrected him. He disagreed with them. Told them they were wrong. Good job, you guys. That's awesome. Yep, that's exactly what happened there. So instead, if somebody says something wrong, don't correct them. Instead, tell them right. Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I mean, what would we propose? So recall when we talked about earlier And again, it'd be done early, because they talked about earlier, we were going to propose something today, or was today just about finding out what you had and what you like and what you don't like? See how then you can, by doing that, does it sound like I'm correcting them? No. And that's what we want to do. And have them, oh, yeah, that's right. This is just about what we like and don't like. And I don't like the fees, says she. And then he says blah, blah, blah. But by correcting him, guess what? Even if it's a good thing, he says, no, I'm not proposing anything. It ends up, a good thing ends up being a what? A reason to get adversarial. So even when you tell them good news, guess what happens? If you tell them good news by correcting them, guess what can happen? Not good things. Make sense? Here we go.
That's why I asked you the question. If the reason I asked, I said, do you know more than you did when we started? Oh, yeah. And you said you did. Are you happy with everything, or would you like to make maybe some changes? Right?
Well, I think she wants to make some changes now, but
and
you have to think about. I guess I'm looking at it as like that moderate squeeze and all that. That's a historical thing on how they've done, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And is that. I mean, when you look at those numbers, here's the thing that concerns me, is that when you look at those numbers, why would anybody, in fact, why would anybody look at it and say, oh, I want to go with the low risk one instead of the moderate risk one? Because it looks like, even there, it looks like.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. You've got to go with the moderate risk one. It can't be that simple. There's got to be more risk in there than what, just because the last 7 years has been mostly.
Okay, so does this sound like he did everything right? Because are they going along at all, or are they pushing back? Yeah, so let's go back to see where this thing went off. Went off the rails, okay? Sometimes this kicks my behind. Sorry about this, guys. Okay, here we go.
All right. And the fund's only been around for 2 years. All right, so the manager's not been very long, but you're paying a significant premium again, and no one minds paying fees, right? If you're getting performance,
right?
All right. But if you're paying a lot of fees for substandard performance,
right?
Right. I mean, this is your good, okay?
So did they give him anything he wanted right there, just as a no? Yeah, yep. But is he assuming that is he assuming that they're giving him what he wants? Yes, because they're going, yeah, yep,
And then we have some risk-reward relationships. So what I did is I compared, your manager's performance with one of the tactical management groups.
Okay, this is where he goes off the rails. So he starts off going through the backwards, because the first thing we need to do at the end is what? Once we've gone through the full 21, what's the first step? What's the first step? Once we've gone from 1 to 21, then what's our step? Next step. To go from 21 to what? 1. Exactly. 21 to 1. Reverse it. So he's now into the 2. He's into the he's 2 into this now. He's 2 into this. So he should have reviewed from top to bottom, said, do you have a better picture? Any changes? Where do I fit in? Covered a lot. Give time to dust to settle. Give time for you to come up with good questions. Then we'll just move ahead at your pace. He's right now in step number 1, okay? And listen to what happens here.
I mean, this is your good, okay? And then we have some risk-reward relationships. So what I did is I compared, your manager's performance with one of the tactical management groups that we use.
What just happened there, guys? Is that what he's supposed to be doing? What's the purpose of going backwards? Yes, Till. He's coming up with solutions. Yes, Glad. He's trying to sell them something. Show, look at how much mine is better. Do we sell anything at the number 2 meeting? Do we sell anything at the 20-point checklist meeting? No. So why do we go from 21 to 1? What's our purpose of going backwards from 21 to 1? What are we trying to accomplish there? Yes, Nick, to confirm what? Yes, Mark, to confirm what and reinforce what? What word do I need to hear in all 21? What word do I need to hear as I go back? Very good, Glad. The advisor, right, Nick? The advisor, I need to hear him. The advisor did this to me. The advisor did that to me. The advisor did that to me. The advisor did that to me. Because the whole purpose of the 21 is to tell them they got all these things wrong. Is the purpose to tell them they have 21 things wrong, guys? No, very good, Nick. What is the purpose? It's to tell them they've got one thing wrong. That's right, Glad, that the advisor is bad. So I need to go back through 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. I'm listening for them to say the advisor is bad. The advisor. If I've gone through 6 of these and they say the advisor is bad, am I going to bother going through the rest at that point? Probably not. Probably not. But if I will go through quickly, but maybe not go through as thoroughly. But if I'm fighting tooth and nail to get them to say advisor at number 21, in fighting tooth and nail to get them to say the advisor had a motive at 20 and the advisor had a motive at 19, then what do? How many am I going to go through then? All of them. All of them. Does that make sense? Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to bore you to death here, but guess what he does from, let's stretch this out. Oh, shoot. Right now we're at what? 1:16:30. Guess what he does from 1:16:30 to the end when they're fighting him? So for 15 minutes, guess what? Yeah, he's selling. Selling, 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 selling. So it's no wonder at the end, what does the guy say? So what are you proposing? Can he really truthfully say he's not proposing anything? Because remember at the end, the guy said, what are you proposing? And he said, I'm not proposing anything. Guys, that's a big fat what? Yes, that's a lie, because he said, by comparing, here's what you're doing, here's how bad what you're doing compared to what mine does. What is that? That's a proposal. You're proposing they move from what they're currently doing to what you're doing. Do not give commercials at the second meeting. There's only one thing that you should be doing in the second meeting. Getting them to decide that I don't give a crap what you have, Mike, but I know one thing. I don't want to stay with my guy. I'm not worried about what you're talking about at all. I don't worry about what you're going to sell me. I don't care what you're proposing. All I know is I need to get away from my guy or my company as quick as possible. That is the only thing we're trying to accomplish, right? No commercials, no commercials, no crappy commercials. Okay? We just want to go backwards through diversification, risk reward, manager tenure, investment weighting, go through all of these and have them tell me, yeah, he wanted to be things were really diversified and he was doing me a favor, but they weren't diversified at all. And he did that because this had made him, he wanted to make me think I needed him. Essentially, I just have one investment. I didn't need him. I could do that myself. But he did it to make me think I needed him, just to fool me, to trick me. The risk reward, yeah, he had me in way too much equity because he only gets paid on the equity side. He didn't want me in actual guaranteed stuff. Not in bonds, because that's equity. He didn't have me in bank stuff, guaranteed stuff, because he didn't get paid on that. Yeah, he had me in managers with only 7 years tenure. We could have had me in managers with 40 years tenure and would have charged nothing. Instead, we had managers with 7 years tenure. I'm being charged through the teeth. Where I could have had a manager with 4 times, 5 times more maturity and experience and paid nothing for it. He had me, see, he, my advisor. That's what I'm looking for here. At the end, I'm not looking for them to be eager to hear what you have to do, or what you're going to recommend. I want them eager to leave their guy. Guys, does the 21-point checklist have anything to do with you? How good you are, what your solution is, how trustworthy you are, how caring you are? Does it have anything to do with you? No. It has to do with their current relationship. And going back through all of these, that's all you're trying to determine. Did they really realize that they can no longer work with their guy because he is taking advantage of them? He is disrespecting them. He is not just accidentally forgetting things. He's purposely withholding information, because if he gave you that information, you would have made another choice. Does that make sense? But when the meeting goes so well, guess what we're so excited about? Oh, they've already left their guy. Did this guy, based on what he said at the end, had they left their guy? Nope. Nope. Does that make sense? So remember, we review from top to bottom. Then when we say, does it give you a better picture of where you are now than when we first started this? Do you see any changes that need to be made, or do you want to keep doing what you're doing? I want to make changes. So where do you see me fitting in? I mean, do you want me more hands-on with making these changes, or was this more of an academic exercise? No, I want you hands-on. Super. Well, we covered a lot today. So what I like to do is make an appointment for a week out, give time for the dust to settle, and during that time, you'll come up with some good questions for me, and then we'll just get together a week from now, and we'll move forward at your pace. How does that sound? Guys, what is this all about again? What is 5, 6, 7, and 8 about? No pressure, right. No pressure, Nick. Does that make sense? That's what we want to do. I hate my guy. Yes, I want you hands-on. And oh, great, there's no pressure here. This guy's truly a what? A consultant. That's what we're trying to do at the end. And how many people come back if they hate their guy, can't stand their guy, know their guy's disrespecting them, stealing from them, withholding information to take advantage of them? Do I have to pressure them to come back? No, they all come back. But when I start making commercials, guess what happens? Some people will not come back, because they're going to go home, research your, or also, what did you just, they're going to research your, whatever you're recommending, and they're going to say, find out they don't want to do that. Because is he, in 15 minutes, was he able to make a good, have them have a good explanation or good understanding of what he's going to recommend in 15 minutes? No. So by giving a brief commercial, he hurt himself. He did not help himself. That's why we do not make any presentations. If they say, well, what would you recommend? What do we fall back on? Well, remember we said earlier, I don't have anything to recommend. I'm not going to assume to presume what you liked and what you didn't like. This meeting was about what you liked and didn't like. So how much of this stuff don't you like? I don't like any of it. Okay, well then I'm going to go back, and then I'll come up with a proposal of what I'd recommend. But at this point, I didn't know what you liked and didn't like, so I didn't actually prepare anything. Because if you told me you liked everything, guess what? I would have shook your hand and you could be on your way. But now you said you do or don't like. No, I don't like it. Now, how much of this? I don't like any of it. Great. Then we'll get together in a week. And guess how often when you do this right and they hate their guy and they think they're being taken advantage of, when you say we'll get together in a week, what do they say? I want to do it now. So then do you do it then, or do you still say, well, I've got an opening a week from now. I don't know if I have something earlier. If I have something earlier, would you want it a week from now or earlier? Well, I want it earlier. Super. Let me go see if we can find it. And then, I want them begging me to come early. I'm not going to try to get them to come early. Does that make sense? Because when I say a week from now, along with 5 through 7, I'm saying what? I'm in a hurry, or I'm just acting as a consultant. Just acting as a consultant. So guys, do you see how the beginning and the end? Yeah, the 21-point checklist is important, but how many of these things are important? The beginning, 1 through 18, and the end. How important are all of those? I treat them all as critically important. The only one that's really a throwaway is the survivor's guide, and it's still important to cover. It just doesn't matter how you cover it, as long as you spend 5-10 minutes on it. So because it sets the tone that we're not here just to talk about money. But everything, and the will, same thing. But everything else, I keep saying, survivor guide, will, and trust are just simply saying we're here to talk about more than money. But part 4 through 18, the intro and the end, how critical do I treat all of those things? Other than 1, 2, and 3, how critically do I treat the intro and parts 4 through 18 and the exit? Very critically. I want to be great at all those. Make sense? Cool. Well, welcome back to 2019. Appreciate you being on the call today and all that you do, and then we will talk to you all next Monday. Thanks, everybody.